This is Business Leaders with Lance Cardoza, the behind-the-scenes story of the business shakers and movers in the Valley and beyond. And now, here's your host, Lance Cardoza.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Business Leaders Live. My name is Lance Cardoza. I bring you business leaders throughout the Valley and abroad every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. right here on the new Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. You can also catch most of my interviews on lancecardoza.com by going to lancecardoza.com. This week, I have a guest that I've worked with personally here in the Valley, and I love to bring business leaders on during the time of trying to innovate, trying to figure out what do you do. And in this business that she's in, Sandra Granda, Granda. I was actually corrected. It's Sandra Granda. See, I even blew it right at the beginning. She's Covered with Elegance, and she's here on the new Talk Radio 1550 KXEX, and we're right here Zooming as we're all in this new way of life and a new way of doing radio. And in her business, Covered with Elegance, she does events and beautiful weddings. And Sandra, thank you for being on my program, Business Leaders Live.
Lance, thank you for the invitation, and good morning to everyone and all the listeners this morning.
You like I said, you can catch us on Facebook, and we'll be on Facebook every week as we do Business Leaders Live. You can catch us at the studio's website by going to Talk Radio 1550 KXEX or going to Lance Cardoza's Facebook, and you'll be able to catch the interview as well. Sandra, you're going on 16 years with Covered with Elegance.
Yes, we are. I'm telling you, time flies.
Time flies. and in this space, talk to me about how it all began. You do incredible, and I don't know if you call it swag work, but the beautiful pleats, and when you do what I call art, when you dress a backsplash wall or a stage, you really make it pop and you make it beautiful. Sometimes it's the simplest things that really make a big difference. How did you get started with that 16 years ago?
It's the draping that we do, and draping is my favorite. My background is hospitality, so I used to work at a hotel here in Fresno, and I started when I was 16 years old. I was there for a while, but decorating has been my passion all the time. I mean, it's just, I love decorating. Draping is my favorite. I love everything that I do, but draping, you are correct. It's an art. Just swagging and just, once you start, it's like drawing a piece of art, because you just go with pieces of material this way and that way, and you just create those swags, and it's just, they come out so beautiful. Beautiful. So backdrops are essential, I think, in a wedding, in any party.
Yeah, and even business events. And like I said, I work in the business event side and big events that we do. It makes such a big difference when you create a nice setting behind the stage or a backsplash. And weddings too. It's amazing what you can do with weddings and creating your theme around that business. I'm sure when you were working at the hotel and you went out on your own and you were doing that, every time you go up to do a new event, does it seem like you learn something new every time and you're creating something new all the time?
Well, that is the point. The point is to create something new every time, because every client is different. They're unique in their own ways. So there's no weddings that are the same. Every bride has a vision, and I love bringing that vision to life. And like you said, it too, even corporate events. So 90% of my business is weddings and quinceañeras. The other percent is corporate events, schools, graduations, but every event is different. Even with you, we have done different events, but every event is different and unique. And that's the whole thing about Covered with Elegance. I like to create different things for every single different person, because they're just different. Yeah,
you can create a different look. And a lot of times too, and as an event planner putting together a big event or promoting the event, or a bride, they're not sure what they want. They show you pictures, they have an idea of what they like, and then it's up to you to sort of create the art. that's going to capture their mind's eye that they have envisioned or not even sure what they want. And I've come to you with that before and said,
Yeah.
I have no idea. Do your
But you
best.
know what? I love that. I love that because when people come in and they bring pictures, so the first thing that I tell, they're beautiful pictures, but
Yeah.
the first thing that I tell them that, you know, we're not able to replicate that, but we can get little pieces of that and then create our own in a different way.
Yeah.
And I love it because just the way they look at me, I get so excited, so they get so excited. So that's just the beauty of it. It's like, oh my gosh, look at what we could do. And that's just the excitement. I mean, I like when people do challenge me. I love challenges. So I do like to think outside the box. Clients like yourself, when you come in and when we did that ballpark event, you know, we're thinking outside the box and just getting together with a group of people and just putting it on the table and creating something. That's what I love. And those are one of the reasons why I love what I do.
So you started Covered with Elegance 16 years ago. You said where you started this love, you're working at a hotel and you're getting a taste of the business and doing that. Before that, you were 16 when you started doing that?
Yes, right? I was in high school.
Where did you grow up? And was this something that you always thought you were going to do when you grew up? Or what was it that you thought you were going to do?
Oh my gosh, believe it or not, yes. So I grew up in Fresno. You know, single mom. My mom is wonderful, my biggest supporter. And I went to McLean High School, so I graduated from McLean. But I always knew that either I was going to work in the hospitality business or I was going to be a flight attendant.
In the hospitality business still.
Yeah, so the hospitality business was just...
you picked a better profession.
it was, you know, it was just a blessing. It was a blessing. I just had wonderful mentors that they polished me and they just helped me, and I just grew up at that hotel.
At the hotel, and then ended up going out on your own. And you can't forget, anytime you do an event, there's always the guy with the hand truck, and he's doing all the heavy lifting and moving in and out all the time. And your husband is always there, and he's a great assist to your creativity. And
absolutely. You know, Lance, I could not do it with the family, with the support of my husband. He's a hard worker. He became a decorator. You know, so he left what he was doing to support me full time, and he's there all the time. And yeah, he carries and loads and unloads and unloads it again.
He doesn't say much, but he's always present. He's always there, and he's getting the job done. And wee hours of the night getting ready for the next day, and always hustling.
He does.
For those of you who joined us, I have Sandra on, and she's with Covered with Elegance. And we're listening right now. You're listening to Business Leaders Live with Lance Cardoza here on the new Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. So being in the event decorating business and the event business in general, that business has taken a massive hit, as many businesses have. And there's been a lot of switching gears and trying to figure out, what do we do to survive? And what do you do if you're getting married or wanting to get married in this day and age? And how does it work? So we have about a minute left, so we'll briefly touch on that. When we come back, we'll dig into that a little more and what people are doing in this pandemic that a lot of businesses are facing today. What has it done with your business?
It has definitely changed everything that we were so used to doing, and we just had to think outside the box. So again, we had to recope, had a meeting with the whole family, and we just started thinking of what is it that we could do to survive, to make it through, but also to be the biggest supporters to our brides, to our quinceañeras, to the parents involved, because they're the ones that are planning this event for the whole year. And they're the ones that are having to put on hold not only the decorator, but many other things. Mm-hmm. So we have to stay very positive for them.
Yeah. and help them think, like you said, outside the box and plan for
Absolutely.
one of the things that we've done together is working with the Fresno County Economic Development Corporation. And a lot of times business events will have a very same cold feeling, and there's a banner, and that's about it up on the stage. And the EDC was never that way. They always wanted to be creative and do something cool and different and really make their members feel entertained and want to come back for more and get more information, and also have this great theme. And a couple of years now, you've joined our team over doing what we've been doing with
Yes.
developments events, from Real Estate Forecast and their annual event. But that whole climate has changed in
Yes.
this new world right now. And that whole climate has changed with weddings and brides trying to figure out, they don't want to put their life on pause. They want to get married and move forward, or maybe they had this planned and they pushed it back a couple times. What are you seeing when those brides come to you? You talked about your family. You talked about thinking outside of the box and what do we do to be ahead of it. What are you doing with the brides when they call and they're trying to plan their wedding, or they're going to do it by hook or crook? It's happening. How's that discussion go?
So when they call in, it's a difficult phone call to get. Yeah. Because their emotions are all over the place. Mm-hmm. I just have to be very, very careful in what I'm going to tell them, the questions that I'm going to ask. But we have to take safety into consideration, and what the venues are also facing. So those are some of the first things that we talk about. It's like, okay, so what location are we working with? And I tell them a lot of my events are 300 guests and higher. Yeah. So the first thing is that, you're just going to have to limit your guest list, make it more intimate. But then we definitely bring onto the table the venue. So we discuss all aspects of it. It's like, okay, so the weddings that were in March, some of them postponed them for August. So it's just been very, very different, but we definitely do ensure them that, if we get the thumbs up and we're able to do your event, we're going to be there for you and we're going to make it work. Not only the decorator, so not only is Covered with Elegance going to make it work, but I also reassure them that if we're working with the Bankers Ballroom, the Grand, Wonder Valley, that we're all in it together. Yeah. To make sure that they don't stress more than that they have to, but that we are going to work it as vendors and we're going to make it work for them. Yeah. And that's what I want to make sure that they understand. And once you tell them that, Lance, they do relax, and then they know that they are in good hands. Yeah.
That you're more than just a decorator. You're a professional. You know this business, and you know how to work with the venue and everybody else. And that's what I really like about working with you too. Certain AV companies are very picky how they want things done and when they're moving in and out. And there's a reason. They have a timeline and a crew, and you work with everybody really well and work together with everybody really well, which I really like. And you're not.
Thank you.
You're not just the design too. I might add that we did an event at Chancey Park, and there was stemware, and there was other things that your company does. I know you have a showroom of collectibles and stuff that's been used for many events that Kirk an idea that they see it and go, oh wow, I want that, at my wedding or my event. So that's and over the years you collect those beautiful things that make those events very beautiful, and the connections to all the different events that supply. Because I'm sure you've helped us too. Like, where do we get a white dance floor, or where do we get? And you make a phone call, and all of a sudden you have a friend that's stepped up to the plate to help us out.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of our business, is that we're all connected. There's other decorators, and we all work together, and that is the key. It's because we all know each other, and we all started about the same time. So we have also grown together. When we do bridal shows, to me,
Yeah.
honestly, it's like a family reunion. I get to see all of them because we only get to see each other twice a year because we're all so busy doing events.
And the only time you might get to see them is passing through probably a venue where you're coming in and they're going out or whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You don't
But
have,
you know what?
yeah.
But we all love each other so much. I'm telling you, we do. Now that when this happened, this pandemic, I cannot tell you how many messages I received from my colleagues telling me and just giving me their support and telling me, Sandra, if there's anything that we could do for you, please do not hesitate. And it was the same way from us to them that, and when you feel that love, it's just, it's out of this world. I can't even tell you how it feels.
And it tells you that you're doing something right. And beyond the quality of your artwork as a person, people want to rally behind you because you'll rally behind them too. When you have a big event, I know, and it's not that the business ever closes. You're picking up the phone late at night, texting back and forth, and making sure that the event is never let down by one thing that could bring it down. You're stepping up and trying to help figure it out. So
absolutely. And you know what? And it's a pleasure to do that. I just love it.
Yeah, there's a thrill. There's a thrill behind solving the problem because the show goes on no matter what. No one knows about the behind the scenes it took to get that event on, but it goes on no matter what. And we're all on the line. We're all on the line. You can have the most beautiful splash wall and everything else, but if everything else about the event was terrible, or one big thing that took the event down, everything's down. Nothing gets positive praise. So all of us together are in it together to make sure you put on a really good event, and you need to be able to work together with
how funny that you mentioned that, because that's what I tell my brides. I said, to have a successful event, it's not based on one person. So it's not based on this person, because they're like, well, Sandra, you're gonna make it happen. But I reassure them, is like, remember and thank you for your woo-hoos. Yeah. But it's not just me. So behind me there is my family. So my family, this is a family-owned business, and it's my whole family, and we only have 5 people that work for us. But it's all my family. It's all the vendors, my colleagues that I trust, that we all make it together, because it's, if one piece is missing from that puzzle, then that puzzle is not complete. Yep. And that's what we make sure that, that puzzle is complete, and it's just going to be beautiful.
We were talking about during the commercial break, which I thought was kind of cute. You were talking about at a young age, is this something you've always wanted to do? And you said, yeah, your mom would be shocked. Tell that story. So your mom would come home.
So there's 4 of us. There's 4 siblings, 3 sisters. I'm the oldest, and then I have 2 other sisters and my brother. But we all love decorating. So my mom went to work. She worked like all day. She would come home. The house would be completely like changed, decorated. She would walk in and be like, oh. I see that the couch is over there now. Yeah. And what happened here? Oh, well, we added this, we moved that, and she's like, oh, okay. Because my mom's a designer. So my mom is actually the one that makes all of our linens, our draping. So her and the sewing machine are best friends, but decorating, no, she's not a decorator.
Not a decorator, yeah. So she'll do all the support, the back end support, and still does today.
Yes, she does. She does. My mom's on dialysis. She's been on dialysis for 17 years.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. So, and she is amazing. She's still, we have a project of 30 linens. She's like, oh no, mija, I can still do them. I could just do 3 a day, for a day. By the time you need them, they're going to be done.
They'll be done. Beautiful. So yes. Many people never set out that they say, this is where I want to be and this is my path. And usually there's something that detours them along the way, but this was your calling and this is what you've been doing, and covered with elegance. So in how everything is hit, it's disrupted where you regrouped your family and put it together. But as many of us, we've had to find different ways to survive and different ways to be able to keep the business going and keep it cash positive to where you can serve your clients as you've served them before, as everything will hopefully get back to a new normal. And there's hardly anybody I've brought on here that said the pandemic's been great for them, which some businesses have done well, but all of them are very worried because it's a trickle economy. As it trickles in a good way, it trickles in a bad way. And it's like a leak in the dam that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then it affects all business, even the ones that were doing well during the pandemic. It will turn and come back to them too as it continues this way. What have you done to try to bridge that gap and figure out what to do as a business covered with elegance?
Well, many different things. At first, I'm not going to lie to you, it hit me very hard. It was very hard for me because I'm always on the go. So I do every weekend. I mean, I have events every weekend, and we're talking 2 or 3 events a weekend, every weekend. So not to have anything March 15th on till now, it was very, very hard. It was just like I didn't know what to do with myself. So we had a meeting. We started projects that we could do with backdrops. So we're going to have backdrops coming up that are going to be a little bit different. My brother David, he started designing some backdrops. So we are going to have new things coming up. I had to get a job to be able to survive. So I do have a job, and I was able to do meetings via FaceTime. So a lot of my clients were still very, very supportive about that. But I just, my office was just, instead of coming to the office here in Clovis, it was on the move. So I'm carrying my computers with me, all my paperwork with me. I take it home, I bring it back. When we had the stay at home, it was everything from home. But you just have to recap and see the good about the challenges that we're facing. Yeah. And to me, I learned that I needed that time with my family. I really needed that time with my family. My mom came and she's been staying with me, and that has been a blessing for me because not only is she keeping me company, she's keeping me busy. I bring her to dialysis 3 times a week, but also it has made me understand and just see my perspectives differently. And we have started doing a lot of new things. You guys are going to see that we started doing smaller ceremonies when they approve them. So 10 people ceremonies. I did smaller receptions when they approved that we could go out at their private homes. So I did small receptions for 10 people.
You had to innovate and figure out what to do. I have Sandra on here with Covered with Elegance, and it's Granda.
Yes. I was just going to tell you that you could call me Granada.
Granada. No, don't do it. Sandra. So you were shocked. I saw the look on your face. Sandra Granda. She's with Covered with Elegance. And we've been talking about the event business, and it's been tough. It's been tough on many businesses out there. And as I mentioned before in the segment before, that even if business is good now, as the economy continues to take a hit, it's a trickle effect. It'll affect other businesses. So the best thing is, as we all pull together, we figure out the new way of life and the new guidelines that come down and the new ways of operating. And like you said, you're preparing your business to do small one-off events that'll probably be a more affordable solution for people to be able to have their event and give them an idea of what to do. I think that's the biggest. A lot of people don't know what to do. I work in the concert business and the entertainment side of the business, and it's a hurry up and wait. We want to hurry, but it's a wait. It's a wait and see until we can get back to this new normal way of doing business. You're seeing that as well with your
Absolutely
events, yeah.
Yes. So what we did too is that, so as I was telling you, we created a package. It's a full ceremony with a smaller reception package. It's for 10 people. We take it to your home, to your backyard, but we include pretty much everything, so you don't have to worry about it. And we're talking about, I could go in there, set up your ceremony in your backyard, convert your living room, drape it all in white, do uplighting, do a beautiful captain's table for 10 people, decorate it. We take a chef that is ready to give you an absolute gorgeous, delicious dinner for 10 people.
Yeah.
We handle pretty much everything. You don't have to worry about nothing. We go in, we set it up, and we take care of you. So we also have the makeup artist that can go in, get the bride ready. She's in the comfort of her home. She can come out to her backyard, do her ceremony. So very intimate.
Yeah.
So we created those packages where we just do it all for you, and we take it to the comfort of your home.
And do you find too that a lot of people are looking for guidance on how do we stay safe and how do we do this event and how should things lay out? You've probably looked into a lot of
I looked into all of that, and we cover everything. So when the chef goes to your house, so we're not talking that he's going to take 2 servers. No, it's the chef preparing everything, but also the chef serving you. So one person. The decorator goes in. So it's not, I don't take a massive amount of people. I go in the morning. It's myself. I'm setting up just me.
Yeah.
So we're not taking multiple people because we don't need it. We can, if I have access to your home early in the morning and you don't have those 10 guests arriving till 5 o'clock, everything gets done within time reason, ready for your event. I mean, and they're just coming in to have a nice dinner, leaving the space that we are needing to leave, and it happens. So we've done quite a few of those.
And that's the new way of doing business. It's offering, and it almost makes you innovate. And I tell people too, it's tough now, but when you get back on your feet and you're doing those 300 seaters and maybe 1,000 people for a big event, you're really building additional revenue streams for the future, because there'll always be those smaller groups that want to do something that maybe they can't get into that space, but then you create that for them. That could be something you could do in the future as well. So you're creating additional revenue streams, you're being innovative, you're figuring out a way to survive during this time, but also a way for them to be able to have their events. Like I said, with a wedding, it'd be good to wait so you can have all those people, but it's really about the couple, the two that are getting married, not about the event necessarily, so they can still have their intimate event with the closest people in their family, do it safely, and you're a company that's created that way of doing it for them.
Absolutely. And into some weddings, so that has worked, but also we also have the quinceañeras and the sweet 16s that are also difficult to handle because, well, to them, it's the culture. It's about having all of your family there for that celebration, because it's the most important celebration. But also what we've done too, thinking outside the box, it's letting people know that, you know what, this is a special celebration. It doesn't matter if we celebrate it when she's 16. If you still want to celebrate her 15th birthday party, it's okay if she's 16. We could still do the traditional quinceañera at 16. It could be next year. You could still have your special guests, your family there, and we could still make it happen. So a lot of them did transfer to next year because they were expecting 400 plus guests.
Yeah. And that is the immediate family.
And that is the immediate family, yes.
So it's not like they could just choose 10 people. It's not going to happen.
Absolutely. Well, hard. we had 2 weddings this year at the Visalia Convention Center. My Punjabi clients, 1,200 people.
Yeah.
So they were like, there's no chance that we're going to downsize on that. So they moved it to next year, and we're just, okay, so we'll just do it next year. No doubt. Because it is important for them to have all of those friends and family.
And do you find too, when you have somebody call you, you still talk about how to be safe and and again, they do look towards you for that, or not sure. I think that's the biggest And even with restaurants, the biggest confusion is we're changing the horse during the race. That we tend to have a plan, but then we're jumping to a different horse because the news is put out that we have a rise in hospital beds being used, or there's more people that are carrying the virus because we have more tests going on as well. So
Right.
right hand and left hand not talking to each other, and a lot of our government officials trying to put guidelines in places as this comes to them like a fire hose. It's blasting them, and they're trying to decide what's the safest thing. But I think a lot of times too, we have to decide for our clients too. We got to help them through this process and be their advocate, and let them know what we're doing to make it safe during this process as well for them. So
it's sharing the knowledge and becoming knowledgeable ourselves, because you're right. So there's a lot of news coming in. There's a lot of new things, and even the officials that are giving the news, they don't know. So they're coping with the news as they get it with the new changes. So it's all a learning process, you know. But what I tell them is that the most important thing is to keep it safe and be safe. When they do want to make an appointment here at the office, they do wear their masks. We do have the sanitizers. We do have the signs here, you know, to keep your distance. So everything is it's up to code, and they do feel comfortable. So now, if you could come in with your whole friends to the office, well, now it's just you here at the office. So you can't come in with your bridesmaids or, you know, the mama, the quinceañera with, you know, la abuelita and the grandma, and, you know, so, you know, it's just a one-on-one.
It probably helps with the process.
Yeah.
I was a wedding photographer when I was young, and oh my, everybody's in charge. So
Oh, yeah.
you can really get down to business one-on-one.
Hey, but I resolved that issue. The first thing I asked him was, okay, the other person that it's not going to be you, who would be my contact person? Because I'm not going to be dealing with grandma and tia and all of that.
Exactly. You have second in command.
Yes. So, but we're getting better at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. One of the things, we got one more segment here with Sandra with Covered with Elegance, and we'll give you all the details on how to get a hold of their company, and if you have an event coming up or trying to navigate what should we do, give her a call. She's a wealth of knowledge and a great place. And actually, give your phone number right now, Sandra. Let's put it out there for everybody.
So my phone number, it's my cell phone number. I'm always available. It's 559-286-8810.
Give that one more time if someone's
One more time, 559-286-8810, and I'm available anytime. It's my cell phone number. You can text me, leave me a message. Everything works.
Beautiful. I want to remind everybody, the 40 Under 40 is on the way, and we're taking nominations right now for the 40 Under 40. So those individuals under the age of 40, movers and shakers, maybe someone that's an innovator that's been here in the Valley during this time of pandemic that really needs to be recognized, go to 40, the letter U, 40.com. That's 40, the letter U, 40.com, and nominate someone today for the 40 Under 40 2020. A big year, important year, and was looking to be one of the biggest economic years, and things have changed. So there's going to be people out there that need to be recognized. So make sure you go 40, the letter U, 40. Sandra with Covered with Elegance has been on the program with me today. And before the commercial break, I mentioned something, the way somebody can connect with you, Sandra. But before we do that, I want to tell people one more time, how do they get a hold of you and maybe see some of your work? They can go to a website?
Absolutely. So our website is www.coverwithelegance.net.
Perfect.
www.coverwithelegance.net. But you can find me on Facebook under Cover with Elegance and Instagram Cover with Elegance.
Perfect. And they can get your number there and they can give you a call. And that's the best way. And it doesn't matter what you're looking for your event. You're a great resource. So give you a call.
You know what? And I tell people, even if you call me and if something that I can't do for you, I'm going to direct you the right way to the right person.
Absolutely. Get you the right people. What
Yes.
would be the thing, Sandra, that you would share with somebody that's a passion of yours or something maybe someone doesn't know about you?
Dancing. I love to dance.
Oh, dancing. Dancing. Perfect.
I love to dance. I enjoy dancing. Any type of music.
Anytime.
Country, English, cumbias, you name it. I love to dance.
Dancing and probably smiling away while you're doing it.
Yes.
There you go. If dancing is your thing, then you have that in
Yes.
common with Sandra.
Dancing is my thing. I love to dance. I love to listen to music. Yes. I need music for everything.
For everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about something that you mentioned your mom's helped in the business, and your mom is, like you said, many years on dialysis, and it's been a tough road now with you guys during the pandemic. Was there something that she or one of your family members shared with you, or maybe a mentor, maybe it was somebody that said something that made an impact on your life? Is there something you could share?
You know what? Yes. So my mom it's like I told you, she's my biggest supporter. She's my friend. She's my mom. My mom is my everything. My mother, it's everything to me. And so what she has always told me is that life is too short. Life is too short, and you never know if you're going to be here tomorrow, if you're going to be here by next year. You have to enjoy every day to the fullest, and love everyone always. But also the most important thing she told me, she's like, Mija, do what you love all the time. Because when you do that, you're just going to enjoy life forever.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So when I started my own business, I stopped working 16 years ago. I love what I do. I enjoy it. And this is my everything.
So everything. And it's funny that, entrepreneurs like yourself, we all say the same thing. We stopped working.
Yes.
And a lot of people see what you do in your business as an entrepreneur is you're working, and it's not. You're creating and you're innovating and you're pleasing customers. You're making them happy and you're achieving their goals. And like you said, spreading that love that, like your mom said. I had someone tell me one time that you live in the present, like right, what's in front of you right now, what's happening, and it's called being in the present for a reason. It's a present. It's a gift of life, and you're living in that present, that now, because you don't know what is for you tomorrow, or what's going to be for you in the future. And that really is evident when you look at what we've been dealing with as a country and as a world with the pandemic, that this isn't something that's new to society. This is something that is fairly new to us as something to go through. Other countries have suffered with pandemics and issues and Black Plague and everything else under the sun. But it's a way to look for the bright side to everything. And that's one thing I love. That's why I wanted to have you on the show too, because we need that bright side. When it gets tough, we band together, we figure out how to take care of business, and we go out there and try to do our best to help our customers through it during the process.
Absolutely. You have to share the joy. You have to share the joy, and you have to just remind people that, we're healthy and we're alive and we're here, and together we're going to get through this.
Yeah. Together
we are.
Do it and support each other. And I think when I had text you first during the spring, probably saying,
yes,
how are you doing? Because I was thinking about myself too, and events. Oh wow, how is she doing? Because then you start thinking about all your friends in the business, and thinking, what could she be doing on the way things were going at that time during shelter in place. But you had a smile for me even through text. It was still a little smile, and you're spreading the love, and you do that every time someone does business with you or talks with you, and even during a time of crisis, and I call it my holy what mode. Pull up the bootstraps, and you're right there. You're present. You're in the trenches to make sure that event goes off well, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the opportunities that you have given me. I'm forever grateful to you and to all the people that just keep me in their minds for their futures. And like I tell people, not only do I want to do your wedding, I want to stay with you forever. I want to do your wedding. I want to do your baby shower. I want to just do everything. I want to be stuck to you guys forever.
Yeah. And help you through the whole process. And we want to keep you there too. Thank you, Sandra, for being on my program, coveredwithelegance.net. That's where you can find out a lot about her company and her phone number, be able to touch base with her, and then see what you need to do to get your event, if it's coming up here around the corner or something you're planning in the future. Plan ahead and have a plan for everything. And you're a great plan B person too. So she's right there with you.
I'm plan A, B, and C. So whatever I can help you guys with, just keep me in mind. I'm here for anything that you guys need.
Thanks again, and thank you everybody out there. This is another edition of Business Leaders Live. We'll talk to you next week, Tuesday morning at 9 a.m.